Throughout the history of this channel, you've seen me go through hundreds of tutorials explaining how I design, arrange, and mix the music of Signs of Life. That said, since this channel began in 2021, I haven't released an official new Signs of Life album until now. That's right, my new album, Portal to Transcendence, is out today, and to celebrate, I thought about what could we do to really change the game. How could I help you guys out so everyone who's watching could really benefit and I can help you take your music to the next level? So here's what we're gonna do. I'm giving away one of the tracks for free, but there's a twist. We're gonna do a full track walkthrough in the style of one of the tracks on the album, Nexus Peak. But instead of me showing you the session and how I made it, I've recreated all of the presets in Vital and exported all of the MIDI files, and I'm offering them up to you for free on my website right now so you can download the entire pack and follow along this tutorial. But Signs, that's crazy. Why are you doing this? Well, first of all, I want you guys to know that I give a shit. I get tons of comments from my viewers saying my tutorials are either too advanced, too fast, or simply out of reach for the total beginner. Believe me, I get it, and that's why I'm making this tutorial. In return, I only ask that after you download the preset pack on my website, you head on over to Bandcamp and buy the album. Not only are you getting the definitive version of the album in all of its 24-bit glory, but you're helping to support me and our record label as well. That being said, let's do this. Make sure you smash that like button on the way in, get subscribed, and enjoy. This video is made possible by the Signs of Life community on Patreon. Are you ready to take your ambient skills to the next level? Or maybe you're just starting out and looking for more tutorials for the absolute beginner? On Patreon, you'll not only find tons of exclusive tutorials and presets, but you'll also find videos on specific topics such as mixing, compression, arrangements, ambient textures and layering, and so much more. If presets and samples are your thing, you'll also find over 70 Patreon exclusive preset packs, as well as exclusive construction kits complete with MIDI files so you can get a head start on your next track. And finally, if you want personal one-on-one instruction for ambient, sound design, and music production, check out the ambient coaching tier. I've already changed the lives of hundreds of clients, and I know I can do the same for you. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today and join us. Link is down below in the description. All right, so here we are in Ableton Live 12. Now the goal of this video is to build a track from scratch, one of the tracks off my new album, Portal to Transcendence. This is gonna be Nexus Peak. And what I've done is I've recreated all of the presets that I used in Vital and then provided them to you guys. Now, what I mean by recreate is I don't use Vital on every single track. Obviously I use other synths like Hive and Pigments and Omnisphere. So I've gone ahead and just recreated each of the presets and then provided them to you so you guys can follow along this tutorial. I've also given you all of the original MIDI files from Nexus Peak. So this tutorial is meant to just follow along and maybe learn something about arrangement, how these sounds come together so you guys can build tracks like this of your own, all right? So I'm working in Ableton Live here. Feel free to follow along in any other DAW of your choice. I am going to use some send effects here. I'm going to use two send effects. One is going to be Valhalla delay. This is my dual dotted eighth note delay. I use this in a lot of my videos. I've talked about it at length, but if you have any other delay, that's totally fine. I'm also going to be using Valhalla Room. Now this is a stock preset called Release the Kraken. It's not called Release the Kraken here, but this is basically Release the Kraken with 55 seconds of decay time. So I'm also going to be using a send effect reverb. Now, otherwise, all you need is Vital and the pack to get started. So I'll leave the links to the album and the pack down below in the description. And of course, I'll put chapters. So if I go too fast, you guys can just, pause the video or just go back and redo a section. No worries. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna play in 97 beats per minute here. So we'll set it to 97. I'm also going to be playing in G minor here. All right, great. So I'm in session view now, but I'm pretty much going to work primarily in arrangement view. So just a standard linear DAW style. And the first thing we're going to do is lay in the pad. Now I'm going to grab Vital here and drop it in our first track. And we're going to load up the pad. The pad is called Container 2 here in Vital, right? And we're gonna load up the pad, and you don't need to do anything because all you need is the MIDI file, right? So in my MIDI clips folder, I have this MIDI file. It's called Container. And all we're gonna do is drop it in here. Now in my notes, I have Container going from bar 1 all the way to 193. So you can grab Container and just drop it here. And I'm gonna extend my loop marker out to like 200 or something. And so now we have plenty of room on the timeline to work with. And all you're gonna do is just drag this over all the way to 197. So that should be good, right? As long as you just drag the MIDI clip, it should extend as a loop. You might need to duplicate it or copy it over. But other than that, this is how long it is. I'm working in the utility template here, so I'm gonna set this through the pad bus. And I'm also gonna rename this Container. All right, and we're gonna put some delay and reverb on here. By doing that, like I said, we're using send effects. So I'm gonna be increasing the amount here of the delay and the reverb. And if you hit play here, this is what it should sound like. Nice. So this is a recreation of a patch that I made in Hive, but it sounds pretty similar, and that's exactly how the track starts. Very good, so I'm gonna lower down the volume a little bit, and we're off and running, okay? So that's our first pad. It's called Container, and this is pretty much the way this tutorial is gonna go. We're just gonna do section by section, patch by patch, until we have a full track. All right, so next up is a patch called the sequence saw. So we're gonna go right back to the beginning, and we're gonna drag another instance of Vital on the next track, and we're going to load up the sequence saw. Now in my notes, I have the MIDI clip going from 33 to 177. So go ahead and grab your MIDI clips, and it's called sequence saw here, and we're gonna drop it onto bar 33, and it's going from 33 all the way to 177, all right? So it's kind of like a bass patch, kind of like, like a sequence bass patch to kind of sit down there in the mix. And I'll put this through the synth bus, increase the delay and reverb here, and lower down the volume, maybe like 8 to 9 dB. Okay, and we'll rename this sequence saw. Very good. Okay, let's see what this sounds like with the pad Container. There we go. You might need to lower down the volume a little bit more. Cool. Nice. So as you can see, the delay kind of helps out a little bit. It's basically a sequence that I made in Stepic, but the MIDI file is now yours. It's got some randomized velocity there. And yeah, that's sequence saw. So we're looking good. I mean, we're off to a great start. We got 2 tracks. And next up, we're going to add the bass, all right? So this bass is a recreation of, again, another Hive patch. So I'll go ahead and just grab Vital here. And we're gonna grab this. It's called the Swallow. So load up the Swallow, and that's our bass patch here. And we're gonna grab the MIDI clip. Now the MIDI clip is the entire bass patch from the whole song, right? So just grab the bass here. It's called Nexus Peak Bass. And what we're gonna do is drop that between 77 and 197. So as you can see, it's basically the entire bass patch for the whole song. And it sounds a little bit like this. Let's go ahead and put this through the bass bus, and we'll go ahead and play here. Very nice. Excellent. Again, a recreation of a high patch, but it does the job. It's basically a sawtooth with one of those anomaly wavetables, little sub-oscillator triangle. Yeah. It's got a nice slow moving bass on the oscilloscope. Classic Sines bass, right? So there you go. Now we have a bass patch, we have the sequence saw and the pad. Excellent. So let's move on now to the kick drum. We're gonna add the kick drum here. Let's grab another instance of Vital. We're gonna drop that in and we're gonna load up kick 2, which is our kick drum. I used a sample in the track, but what I did is just created a kick drum synthesized in Vital for you guys. So go ahead and grab the MIDI clip. The MIDI clip is called kick, and in my notes, I have it between 33 and 65. So we're just gonna grab it and drop it at bar 33 all the way to 65. And then again, the kick happens from 97 to 161. So I'm gonna duplicate this over from 97 to 161. Excellent. Okay, I'll rename this kick 2. All right, and we're gonna put it through the drum bus, and we're going to lower down the amount a little bit and hit play. Solid kick drum in Vital here. Now what's cool about this is it's not a sample, it's an actual synthesized patch. So you've got controls here, you can tighten it up, adjust the pitch, right? I think I used this in a master class, but I adjusted a little bit for this track, added an EQ, a little bit of filtering, so it's yours now. Anyway, that's good. That's solid. I like the way that sounds. All right. You can add a little bit of reverb to taste. Sometimes just a tiny bit of reverb helps on a kick drum. Give it a little bit more depth and space. Anyway, so that's the kick drum here. All right, let's quickly now add the snare drum. So add another instance of Vital here. I've synthesized a snare for you guys. We're gonna load up the tight snare, all right? And we'll go ahead and grab the MIDI clip here. And the snare drum only happens where the kick drum happens. So you can just go ahead and copy the same exact settings or just drag the MIDI clip over to exactly where the kick drum is, the snare will be. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and rename the snare. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and put that through the drum bus as well. And we'll go ahead and hit play and listen to what this sounds like. Excellent. Again, that's a synthesized snare in Vital with just a simple sine wave and white noise. Really not much to it, but you know, sometimes these things are tricky. I understand, like, you know, like, how does he do that? Like, how does he make these snares? Like, yo, here's one for you. Try it out. A little bit of compression, distortion, a little bit of reverb, just a tiny bit of reverb. Cool. One little touch that I know that I did in the track, because I do this on most of my snares, is I added Automaton to the snare. So if you have Automaton, it's a free plugin from Audio Damage in the legacy section. And what you can do is you can grab it and just put on additional beats. So additional beats here, and I'm gonna take away the bit crush and the modulate. And then what I like to do is increase the effects level here, okay? So it's a preset called additional beats, and I put it directly onto the snare drum. Now listen to what it sounds like with additional beats. Because Automaton is kind of random, it doesn't happen every single time, but it's a nice little effect, especially for snares. A little bit of flam. Yeah, just like that. Nice little touch there. Cool. I like it. All right, now next up is our glitch percussion track, and I used glitch percussion samples that I created myself, but for this example, I've actually created a glitch percussion patch in Vital for you guys, so you can go ahead and drop that onto your track here and just load it up. It's called Glitch Perc, and we're gonna go ahead and grab the MIDI clip here. I will extend this out, and we're gonna grab the MIDI clip, and it's gonna be called Glitch Perc. And in my notes, I have it from 33 to 65, and I also have it from 81 to 113. So go ahead and duplicate it over from 81 to 113, and then finally, it is from 129 to 161. So there we go, like that. Excellent. All right, we're gonna rename this Glitch Perc. Awesome, and we'll put it through the drum bus. And let's go ahead and listen to this now with the rest of the track. Excellent. That sounds so good. All right, so what I did is I used this random in a variety of ways. As you can see, the random is moving this unique wavetable all around. It's hitting the white noise. The LFO is panning the white noise as well. The random is hitting this sync. I mean, there's just a lot going on here, but that's synthesized glitch percussion. Combine that with the actual MIDI clip that you're using, which I created in Stepic. There you go, right? Awesome. Sounds great. All right, cool. So glitch percussion is in, drums are in. Let's move on now. Our next patch is called the mid sequence. Now, this is sort of a lead patch. So go ahead and grab another instance of Vital here, drag it on the next track, and let's grab mid sequence, and it's gonna be called The Hive. And that's what it's called, The Hive, with a E as a 3. So The Hive, and we're gonna go ahead and grab the MIDI clip here. Let's go. The Hive is right here in the middle. Now, by mid sequence, I mean from bar 65 all the way to 129. So this is sort of like the midpoint sequence. And it's a very interesting patch because it's a patch that I created in Hive called The Hive, but I recreated it in Vital. And it's a well-loved patch. I've talked about it before, especially on my Patreon, but listen to what this sounds like. Increase the delay and reverb. That's what you're gonna do. Increase the delay and reverb here and let this thing just go crazy. And here's what it sounds like in the middle of the track when all the drums come out and you just have this and the bass and the pad. Check it out. Oh yeah. I love that. It's a nice effect. Increase the delay a little more. There we go. That's it. So as you can hear, it really does add a lot of dimension. This patch, let me break it down for you, is basically using, it's very simple actually. It's using sample and hold on the filter. So this random is in sync mode, and this random is in sync mode and it's driving the filter. Also, this LFO set to 8/1 in sync mode is driving the filter as well, and it's just a sawtooth and white noise. That's it. But if you combine that, I think the timing is what really makes this patch magical. The timing of 1/2, divided by 8/1, like it's just like everything about this patch, I just love it, right? It just sounds so good. It sounds great, like in the middle there, especially with that sample and hold. So cool. Right? So that's the mid sequence, The Hive. Again, from 65 to 129. That's all you need. The glitch percussion is gonna come back and we're gonna add a couple more touches. So at this point, I'm gonna add 3 more tracks. So 1, 2, 3 more tracks. And our next track is gonna be called Beneath the Surface. So go ahead and grab another instance of Vital here. Right there, and we're gonna add Beneath the Surface, right? And this is gonna be one of our lead patches. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and grab the MIDI clip. The MIDI clip is called Surface, and that is between 17 and 65. So drag it from 17 to 65. And it's also found between 97 and 161. So go ahead and just duplicate that over to 97 to 161. Excellent. Okay, let's listen to what this sounds like. This is called Beneath the Surface. So let's rename this BTS. There we go. And we'll put it through the synth bus. Okay, add some delay and some reverb and let it go. Excellent. Again, very similar to The Hive, right? White noise and a sawtooth with sample and hold driving the level of both the white noise and the oscillator, right? Short little envelope there, driving the filter. It's also driving the filter as well. But that ties in perfectly with the hive in the middle, right? This is more like a hard driving rhythm right in the middle. Oh, I just love it. All right, so Beneath the Surface is in, very nice. That's really driving the track forward. We're off and running now. I mean, this track is really starting to take shape. Cool, we've got 8 tracks in. Let's do 2 more, all right? Next up is Alien Signals. Now this patch was actually from Phase Plant. So I did my best to recreate it in Vital. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna load up Alien Signals right here. And Alien Signals is very interesting because this LFO is like the master LFO for the entire track. And it's very trancy, you know what I mean? Like I set this up with step mode, 2 oscillators here, white noise. And so let's go ahead and add the MIDI clip here. Now the MIDI clip is interesting, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna add Alien Signals right here between 9 and 17. You're gonna break this up, okay? So chop it in half and add it between 9 and 17 and then start doing some duplication. So you're gonna add it again between 25 and 33 and then finally one more time between 41 and 49, right? That's what you want. Otherwise, you're gonna drag another instance over and you're gonna put it between 81 and 113. So it's gonna be between 81 and 113 all the way. And then finally, 129 all the way to 177, right? So it's kind of like, the reason why I did that is because it's kind of like part of the intro, right? Just right here. And then the rest of it is sort of spread out. Now here's what Alien Signals sounds like. Check this out. Oh yeah. Very nice. Yeah, that's Alien Signals. Right, but in Phase Plant, I used the Transgate because you have a Transgate in Phase Plant. But here in Vital, I was like, well, I don't have a Transgate. I'm gonna have to make one. So there's my little Transgate, right? A little LFO action. Very simple. I tried to get all those little details. And then when you actually listen to the track on the album, you'll hear there's like really nice Alien Signal sounds in this patch. It's really cool. But it's a nice recreation, I thought. All right, listen to it in the track. Excellent. We'll rename this Alien Signals. There we go. Make sure to add enough delay and reverb to cover that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, look at this. Like, we're like 20 minutes in and like we have a full track right here. I mean, it's amazing, right? We're doing the damn thing. All right, last but not least, we're gonna add a little patch on the end called Afterglow, and that's gonna round us off, right? So let's grab Vital here and we're gonna add Afterglow. And this is like a lead patch that was actually improvised. Like this is me playing right on the end here, and I recreated this patch from scratch. So go ahead and grab the MIDI clip and you're gonna drop Afterglow right there between 145 and 177. So this is like the final touch. This is the chef's kiss, right? 145 to 177. And I'm gonna rename this Afterglow. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna focus our energies here towards the end of the track. So we're just gonna round this out and let's put a loop marker here at the end and yeah, hit play and let's see what it sounds like. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The Afterglow, right? Oh my goodness. So it all came together. Let's just go back to where we started. We started with container. We laid in a pad. We had a sequence saw. We laid in a beautiful bass line. We laid in all the percussion, the glitches, the snares, the kick drums. We had a midpoint sequence with the hive. Oh my goodness, we had a lead patch in here, Alien Signals, all the way to Afterglow. I mean, come on, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed this tutorial, like I said in the beginning of the video, it'd mean the world to me if you go buy the album on Bandcamp. I really just enjoy making tutorials like this, and I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate this new album than to show you guys exactly how it was made. I mean, this is the real deal, right? Wow. So I'll be back again soon with more tutorials just like this one. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up. And yeah, we're doing this for real, you guys. I truly appreciate all your support. And yeah, I'll be back again soon with more ambient tutorials just like this one, all right? So, in the meantime, take good care, you guys. And as always, keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. My name is Chris from Signs of Life, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.